great to have Shane out there. I thought he had great command of the game. We moved the ball down the field and were able to score points, control clock, play good situational football. 2 minutes before half, that ends up being a huge swing in the game based on the difference, the margin at the end, and then the 4 minute conversion there down the end was huge for us. A lot of guys showed up. Can't thank these guys enough. They put it all out there. It's been a journey for them all, and that's all you can ask for as a coach is for these guys to go for it and give it all they got on the last game, and they did that. So super proud of those guys. It's been a real joy to coach them.
Coach, you talked about wanting more energy, tempo, intensity from your players. It looked like you got that right from the jump tonight.
Yeah. We went out there, got a stop on defense, got the ball to our offense, and the offense got into a real good rhythm early right there. And, you could feel it, right? And then some guys are stepping up, making big plays. You see the sideline come together, and it was just good football and fun to watch.
I know everybody's going to talk about Tyrell's one-handed grab in the end zone, but I know you coaches look at other stuff like him making the tackle, coming all the way across the field on the ensuing kickoff, running 40 yards across the field to knock the guy out of bounds so he doesn't get to the end zone. Like, are those the kinds of little things that you're talking about that can make the difference for a player when it comes to roster decisions?
Yeah, those are character plays, right? You got to want to do that, and you got to be selfless enough to want to do that, and then give that effort. So those do not fly under the radar for us when we go back and examine the film, and we'll do that on the way home on the plane. So, listen, there's a lot at stake for these guys, and we don't take that lightly, and we have to do our best to give a fair evaluation of the performance tonight. And so, in some ways they made it awfully hard on us to make some tough decisions over the next couple of days here.
I know some players, some of your young players in the draft class have flashed through the course of the preseason. Deon Walker went from flashing to being a consistent presence at times there in your defensive front. That's the kind of next step for like some of these young guys, right? Like, don't just flash, show up like series in, series out.
Yeah, and he knows he didn't play last week the way he wanted to play, and he was on an upward trajectory, and then he had the game, and he wanted some plays back for sure in that game, and I thought he had a good week, very intentional week of practice, and then you see the result tonight, right? So that's the journey of a young player, and we're going to have to count on these young players, and there's going to be some moments where it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and so with that, when they're taking that step back, we have to get them back as quickly as we can to those next 2 steps forward, and so that's mentally, physically, the whole way. So that's important for us.
Obviously, big decisions coming up here in the next several days. This has been somewhat of a unique circumstance with some of the injury situations. I know you're finally getting some people back now. Do you anticipate some of those influencing some of the decisions you still have to make based on status of guys here, there, or?
Well, we've got to kind of figure out who's going to be able to come back. We lost Brad tonight to an illness, and Zach steps in and does a great job, and I think that's a story in and of itself, right? So just fun to watch these guys go play, put it on the line. We've got tough decisions to make. I want for all these guys to be able to play in the league. It's been fun to coach them and a real joy.
Is this one of the hardest decisions after training camp and after everything all these guys have gone through to make these decisions? How hard is it for you to sit down and make those decisions?
Oh, it rips at my heart. It does, because if they were my son, I see them through that lens, because my kids are getting older now, and you see how hard they work and what they put into it, and they've done everything that we've asked. We've had our fair share of injuries. Guys have come in. Elijah comes in, and 2 days ago or whatever it was, and almost gains 100 yards overall in total offense, right? So just real fun. And these guys they're so grateful. They're so appreciative, full of class, and again, it's hard from a football standpoint, but even harder from a, hey, these guys are good guys and they're winners. And sometimes it doesn't last in football, right? But that's where you get a reminder that football isn't everything, and life is what's most important. And I tell these guys they're going to be winners in life, and that's ultimately what's most important.
I realize Tyler probably wants his last kick back, but you know what he looks like when he feels good. So with you got him a lot of work tonight, which is probably a good thing. You're probably happy about that. Does he look like you're used to seeing him when he feels good?
Yeah, I mean, very small sample. If you add up tonight and then Thursday when he kicked this week was the first time I had seen him kick really since the start of training camp. So tonight we wanted to keep it in moderation with the distance we were willing to go. 48 was where we were willing to go. That was kind of our max line, and he had some different kicks tonight. He had the kick before half, which I think was a good situation to be in. Would have loved to see him made that last one there at the end, and but I believe it's a good step, first step in the right direction, and then this next week or two will be just as important for us because he's missed the time that he's missed.